Our speaker is Patankar from DY Patil University, Navi, Mumbai, India. Today he presents his talk on the topic, How Family Members Judge Me Based on My Ethnolinguistic Identity.
Hello. Hi everyone. Myself Samir Patankar. I am an assistant professor currently working at School of Creative Studies, DY Patil deemed to be University, Navi, Mumbai, India. And for this conference, I will be presenting my work on how family members judge me based on my ethno-linguistic identity. So the I will start with some research background which motivated me to inquire about this particular research subject. So the available literature highlights the cultural stereotypes experienced by transnational families which pertain to intercultural communication, whereas very few studies have examined interstate migrants belongs to different cultures but residing within a country, reflecting intracultural communication. So, as per the Pew Research Center's report, which they conducted in 2021, so according to that, so mixed marriages are becoming increasingly common. However, it is still considered to be a social stigma in Indian society. If we take the help of the statistics, then we can see the findings of Pew Research Center revealed that a significant portion of Indians, which is around 64%, believe it is crucial to prevent women from their community from marrying outside their caste, and similar percentage, which is about 62%, believe it is important to prevent men from marrying outside their caste. These differences in these numbers among castes are minimal. So, what is the research objective of my study? This study aimed to examine whether individuals from mixed marriage families feel judged based on their ethno-linguistic identity and how it impacts their cultural adoption in the home environment. So now I will be first speaking about the methodology which I adopted to conduct this research study. So that it includes data collection, method of data collection, universes, sampling design, and data analysis. So the type of data, this is a empirical work using the primary data. So when I say mixed marriage families, which involves a woman, men, and family members who share different mother tongues. So that's why I'm calling it as ethno-linguistic families. And I have included the family members as well because if we see the Hofstede's insights, then India has a collectivistic culture. So while studying these the cultural adoption, it is really important to understand the nuclear families as well as joint families. Joint families are the families where the man and woman along with along with their son or daughter who stays with their family members like in-laws or other family members, and nuclear families are those who stays the man and woman with their kids maybe, so that is considered as nuclear family. So in this case, the joint as well as nuclear families. And the second criteria was either men or women are first, second, or third generation migrant to the state of Maharashtra, India, and currently residing in Mumbai. That is a capital of the state Maharashtra. So, method of data collection. Data collection from ethnolinguistic families in the home environment was conducted using structured interviews. So, universes, the study was conducted in two districts of the state Maharashtra, namely Mumbai suburbs and Thane. So, why I chose these two districts specifically? So, I have a rationale for that. So, according to 2011 census, which is the latest census of conducted by Government of India, the Thane district approximately 1.11 crore, and Mumbai suburbs approximately 93.57 lakhs, ranked first and fifth among the India's most populated districts. So in other words, these are the two most populated districts across India as per the last census, that was conducted in 2011. Yes. So this study investigated 12 mixed marriage families, so about 34 respondents in the home environment, achieving data saturation. So while collecting the data saturation was reached after completing the interviews of 12 mixed marriage families. So for this study, the sampling unit were defined for the inputs collected from the structured interviews as one family is equal to one unit. As far as the data analysis is concerned, respondents from mixed marriage families answered interview questions in English, Hindi, and Marathi, as these languages were shared by both the researcher and participants. Interviews were conducted in person and virtually via Zoom, and recorded the both audio and video with participants' consent, and then transcribed and translated into English by three nuclear ethnolinguistic families. A Marathi woman from family 6 who married a Keralite man, which is in the southern India, stated that wearing a white sari with a golden border is a cultural outfit for Keralite women, and when I speak in my mother tongue, that is Marathi, while wearing it, people react with shock or surprise. So they try to associate the language with cultural attire. Then third is body features. Among three ethnolinguistic families, which includes two nuclear and one joint, body features of the individuals has led to negative cultural perceptions. So respondents in these families reported experiencing judgment based on their physical appearance, such as Nepali woman's small eyes and flat nose, which is a very racist comments. Similarly, a daughter from a mixed Assamese Punjabi family faced stereotypes based on her looks, while a younger daughter from a mixed Keralite Marathi family encountered racist comments about their skin tone and hair length. The next, moving on to personality traits. Personality traits were found to be significant factors in the negative cultural perceptions reported by three ethnolinguistic families, including one nuclear and two joint families. Stereotyping based on personality traits of community members can create both positive and negative cultural stereotypes. For example, Gujaratis are often stereotyped as business minded, while Marathis are referred as Ghati, which is derogatory. The common belief that all Malayali people, that is, the people who come from the state of Kerala, India, are intelligent, is challenged by Kerala's current literacy rate, which is not 100%. The next is the language. Negative cultural perception based on linguistic identity led to misunderstandings reported by two ethnolinguistic families. While the younger generations tend to be more accepting of cultural differences, they still face challenges in navigating their identities in a diverse society. A boy from family 2 who is Gujarati married a Sindhi girl shared that despite my Gujarati origins, my first language is Marathi because his family, his ancestors migrated from the state of Gujarat to Maharashtra long back. So, hence, despite being Gujarati, his first language is Marathi. Unfortunately, my in laws had preconceived notions about Marathis being loud, so I will force my wife to speak in Marathi. The next is with the unfamiliarity with home culture. So, in international context, we know the home country and host country, but in Indian context, we need to understand before moving with the point that what is home culture and what is host culture. So, in a brief, that in many of the Indian subcultures, after marriage, a bride is supposed to move to her spouse place. So, in this context, that home, bride's culture, which she comes from her parents' place, is referred as home culture, and while she moves from her parents' place to in law's place, so in law's place is referred as host culture. So here the judgment is based on her home culture. So two ethnolinguistic families reported negative cultural perceptions influenced by the factor unfamiliarity with home culture. In uh, so in many Indian subcultures, it is common practice for the woman to move from her parents' place, which represents her home culture, to her husband's place, which represents host culture, which we already discussed. This can lead to certain perceptions of woman culture as men's families may be unfamiliar with it. So, in one instance, a member of man's family wondered how a Marathi woman would adopt Keralite culture without losing her native identity. Similarly, a Sindhi girl married to a Gujarati boy believes that every Sindhi has to face few common questions such as, are you Hindu, right? Have you come from Pakistan? The next factor is religion. A significant role was played by religion in shaping negative cultural perceptions reported by one ethnolinguistic family. Family 4 comprised an interfaith couple wherein a Keralite Christian man married a Marathi Brahmin girl. The perception of religion has a negative impact on interpersonal communication as reported by the man. He stated that some people believe Christians are particularly well known for the conversion practices that are being introduced into the picture these days, which creates a barrier in communication. The next is about caste and cultural differences. So, a family reported negative cultural perceptions due to caste and cultural differences. The couple from family 5, consisting of a Konkani woman and a Tamil man faced restrictions and judgment before, during, and after their marriage due to these differences. She stated that when I was about to marry someone from a different caste and culture, people in my community started asking questions like, why am I not getting married in the same caste and culture? And is it necessary to get married outside my our own culture? However, we chose to ignore these comments and questions regarding this relationship. I feel that it is important for a woman to adopt the culture of their spouse, to adjust to the new place. My qualities, such as flexible nature and willingness to accept cultural adjustment, help me to throughout the process. One needs to understand the caste and cultural landscape of Indian society in order to understand these complexities. So next is change of name and surname. This is very interesting because this is particularly dominant in Indian society. So one woman from an ethnolinguistic family reported positive cultural perception based on her husband's surname, or which is also known as family name. In many Indian subcultures, it is traditional for women to change their first name and family name after marriage. However, research findings indicate that this practice can impact their personal, professional, and social lives and lead to positive cultural perceptions. This woman from family 6 is a Marathi and married to a Keralite man. She strongly believed that my new surname, acquired from my husband, created a positive perception among my students' parents that benefited me in the teaching profession. Just by seeing my surname, which is perceived as belonging to an intelligent Keralite teacher, parents are more likely to enroll their children in my tuition classes. I believe that I would not have received the same response with my original Marathi surname. And the last factor is about the nurture. A woman from an ethnolinguistic family reported negative cultural perceptions influenced by nurture. The present findings suggest that upbringing plays a crucial role in the development of cultural perception. Her experience emphasizes the impact of nurture on cultural perception. So she shared that I come from a liberal family that values gender equality, where women are considered equal to men. However, in my spouse Assamese culture, people are not as open towards girls and tend to judge a woman who goes out at night, shared by a Punjabi woman married to a Assamese man. So these are the some discussion. So the findings of the present study align with those of I have mentioned these studies, who found that clothing and physical appearance are important in shaping people's perceptions and initial impressions of others. They can express cultural identity, reinforce gender stereotypes, and significantly impact the overall perception of a person. Similarly, the findings of these studies are in line with the research conducted by the other two studies I have mentioned, which revealed that accent plays a significant role in shaping people's perceptions and attitudes towards non native speakers. Having a non native accent often leads to negative perceptions and discrimination, thus highlighting the need for the diversity and inclusion. So one can easily understand or have some that idea about there are so many languages in India, so one can relate that how accent and these, the complexities are really important to understand, and what they may create possible barriers. Moving on to the conclusion, so the 10 factors which we discussed, so all the factors except change of name and surname indicated negative cultural perceptions which subverted the cultural adoption for uh, respondents from ethnolinguistic families in their home environment, whereas this positive cultural perception that is reflected by the change of name and surname facilitated the cultural adoption for that lady who is a Maharashtrian or the Marathi married to a Keralite man. The implications, to promote the cultural integration and reduce bias, the open dialogues is very important and should be encouraged instead of assuming traits based on ethnolinguistic identity. This approach is very crucial for individuals, families, and organizations to foster mutual understanding and inclusivity. And these are some references which I used. Thank you.